Welcome to Worship Tutorials. My name's Bradford. Hey, let me ask you something. You ever been scheduled to play guitar and you go and you pull up the song and you're like, where's the guitar? Now, sometimes it could just be that nowadays guitars are just buried a lot, and that's frustrating. But there are also times where there isn't guitar and maybe you feel like it needs to be, or maybe what are you going to do? So I'm going to give you just 3 ways to go about doing just that. And I actually covered some of this in a song that we did. We did a Christmas song by Phil Wickham called Behold. And the only guitar track that's there is this really washed out, reverby, like stab thing. And it might as well not be there. So an effect. It's not guitar, it's an effect. If you're interested, you can go watch. It is a Christmas song, so if you're not watching this in Christmas time, I know. But you can go watch our playthrough of Behold by Phil Wickham and kind of see it in action. But I'm going to break it down. 3 very, very simple things that I do. Really, I'll give you a bonus 4th one, and I'll just start with that one. The bonus 4th one is swells. You cannot go wrong doing swells. All right, back to number 1. Find a melody in the song that just grips you or just seems to be like the main melody in the song and play that. In the song Behold, again, for example, there's like this like choir angelic voice thing that is going with maybe the piano and the strings. So I copied that. I did that during the intro and the turns when they went to that, and that was easy. That's an easy thing you can do. There's typically something in the turns to make it a little more interesting. Grab that. So that's easy. Just play a melody from some part in the song or whatever the intro and the turn is. Another thing I do kind of keeps the song moving along, kind of adds another dimension of rhythm and adds another texture. Something real easy. You're going to grab the 1 of the song you're in. The song that I'm referencing and throughout this is in the key of B. What I use for like my home bass is the B major pentatonic, but it's like I've rooted on the G sharp because it's the relative minor. So I'll play here. So real easy thing I do is you palm mute it and you just follow the tempo of the song. So in the song, we're at like 73-ish BPM. So I do. And that sounds fine on its own. Sometimes you add some eighth delay, dotted eighth delay. So if you kind of envision whatever pentatonic scale you're playing, whatever key you're in, if you vision like your root on each string as like the 1, go up 2 frets. So you got this right here is the 4th fret, here's the 6th fret. So you're just going up 1 note. So that's the C sharp. So B to C sharp, 1 to the 2 note wise. In this case, it's the 4 to the 6 fret wise. So I hammer on. With dual delay, it just gets more crazy. Maybe not do that as often. But just adding delay adds texture, keeping it clean and simple with no delay is great. But you can do that and honestly just really carry the song. And so you'll notice, at least in that track too, that you hear kind of this like pulsing on the 1. And you can do that. You can follow progression. The cool thing about the 1 is your 1 note is actually your suspended note, the note that gets suspended in your 5 chord. So you can hold that. And when you hold it, you drop back a half step when you're on the suspended 5. So here's it on its own. And you can utilize that to just follow the chord progression a little bit more. The 1 will work, but if you think that you need a little bit more movement, follow the 5, the suspended 5 resolve, which happens often too. All right, the other thing, real simple. Play chords, but don't play them like an acoustic player. Listen to a mix. That's the hard thing. Think of it more contextually. Listen to a mix, something like, let me turn some effects on and kind of show you how I would do it in that song. or arpeggiate it. So you're not like playing rhythm, you're like raking chords. There's a difference. So this is the third tip there, but in that vein, play rhythm that's a little higher voiced. I guess we have more than one tip, but it's rhythmically how to approach the rhythm section, or the rhythm part. I do this worship triad of sorts I've talked about before. It's a power chord. By definition, a power chord is like 1-5-1. A lot of people just play 1-5. But if you're going to do it on, for example, in the key of B, we're going to do a B note, an F sharp, and a B note again. And this really is easier if you learn the notes on your B string. That's how I quickly referenced it and quickly got there when I was learning this idea. So the B note is going to be on the 9th fret of your D string, and then you're going to be on the 11th fret of your G, and then you're going to be on the 12th fret of your B, and you get this, 1-5-1. And if I were to play a power chord, 1-5-1. So it sounds the same notes, just octave higher. So you're going to bounce between playing all three. Sometimes I lay down my first finger to get this higher note. If like the 1 gets held onto a little longer. But that also doubles as your 6. If I play G sharp minor. Let me just add a G sharp for you. You hear like it fits, right? This is also your suspended 5. So what you do is you play that shape as well when you're playing a suspended 5. Maybe the song doesn't actually call for a suspended 5, but you hear that like it could work. Play that shape and you just drop, you can do one of two things. You can drop your pinky down a fret to the 11th fret on the B string, or you can just play this and drop your ring finger down to get that. That's your 5, and if you open up, you go back to this home bass I was talking about, and then you open up your ring finger and you press down on your first finger. That kind of acts as your 4. So you're playing on your D and your G string, you're playing the 9th fret, and you're getting that 12th fret. So that's your 1. This is your 1. And you are playing stripped back notes. You're playing 3 notes at a time, maybe 4. And you'd be surprised at how well that fills something out, fills a mix out, keeps things moving, because you're going to play more like this. But in your song, if you happen to hit the 2 or the 3, those are the only chords we haven't discussed yet, you can wrap right around here. That's your 2. If you kind of keep your bass where your 1 is on the D string, if you wrap around this whole thing, this is your 2. So in the key of B, C sharp minor. If you scoot up 2 frets, that's your 3. So you have all 6 chords you're going to use pretty regularly. You rarely will use the half diminished bit in a song. And if you do, you can work that out. But this is how I would play guitar parts in any song that you are trying to maybe do something different, or there's not a lot there, or maybe there's so many parts that you're like, how do I condense this? Or how am I just trying to do something that fits our congregation, our room, our band better? All those things. Like an example I think of is 10,000 Reasons too. Like the guitar really just plays chords the whole time, the electric guitar. Thanks for checking this out. We will see you the next time. Make sure you've subscribed and just let us know if this was helpful. We'll see you next time.
Bradford, can I hop in and sabotage your video and give a bonus 5th tip? I know
Am I going to say no?
I'm uncomfortably close to you. I'm in your personal space. I hope you don't mind. Here's a bonus tip. Don't be afraid not to play in certain sections.
Oh, there you go.
Just there are places where you don't need to play.
Well, this video is more about like what to play. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's right. Don't be afraid not to play.
But Bradford, sometimes we say more in the silence than we do.
Sometimes no answer is an answer.
I'm trying to be Stanley giving you advice as Michael.
Sometimes women say more about pauses than they say in their words.
Really?
Oh, yes. Let's listen to it again.